If you're struggling to make the most effortless golf swing, it's because you're not doing these two things. Let me show you. We all want to make effortless golf swings just like the ones we see our pros making on television. And the thing is, you only really need to do these two things to get that same feeling of an effortless golf swing that I promise you, any golfer, no matter what handicap or level you're at right now, you can do it. So very quickly, before I dive in, I've had a few questions about the new irons I'm using. These are the ballistic irons. They are fantastic, super feel, and they look amazing. Check out the description for more details. So let's dive in. Effortless golfing, what is the first thing that you need to do? Now, let me ask you a question. If I was going to ask you to throw this golf ball, what's the first thing that you would do without even thinking about it? You'd likely take it, you'd shift your weight here, whilst the hand is still going back, you'd plant it, and then release and throw like that. Same on this angle here, you'd step, while the arm is still going back. So before the weights even move forward, the backswing, as that weight's going forward, I should say, the backswing is still going. You'd plant it, and then you'd release. Now the golf swing needs to be like that. We need to be letting it flow and moving effortlessly without thinking about it too much. Now the key is your hips play a massive role. And the first thing you need to get them to do, as you make your backswing, before your backswing's even finished, you need your hips to be slightly moving towards the target. So from face on, as I'm going back in my backswing, as this club nearly gets to the top, that weight, this trail hip, should start moving towards the target. It's only like a couple of inches or so. It's a really small move, but an absolute must move. Same for your driver as well, or your hybrid, same as it is for the irons, but it's a little move. Just before that backswing finishes, that weight needs to be shifting forward. Now, very important, this is not a slide. I'm not talking about doing this and just shoving the hips out like that and leaving the upper body back like this. I'm talking about moving the upper body and the lower body together. So it's a small little 2-inch move there. You'll see the left shoulder has moved across as well before the backswing's finished. And then you can swing through nice and fluently into a great position. So from this angle, I'll show you from a couple of different angles. The back angle is a great one as well. So before you're finishing this backswing, it's different for everyone, but when the arms get to about here somewhere, this is what you see the pros doing when you look at their swings in slow motion. When the club's getting to the top, you'll see the weight's going this way. It's only a couple of inches. You don't want to do it exaggerate or anything like that, but before that backswing finishes, you want a couple of inches of movement towards the target there. Have a look at this angle here. Watch this trail butt, trail hip. Just as I'm getting towards the top, there. It's a slight little move, there. And what it enables you to do is get that weight forward so you can really sling the club through, let it naturally snap through and get maximum power and speed. It's a really powerful move, and I'll show you a pro golfer in this video. Now, if you have a look at this golf swing, I'll show you Rory's swing because that's a really good one. If you have a look at it closely, watch his lower part, his hips and that move in the downswing. Watch them shift before he's even finished his backswing. You can only see this in slow motion. You'll see that those hips shift, then his upper body comes through. So it's one fluid motion, and that's how he's able to get extraordinary power in his golf swing. So it's really important when you're doing this, that when you get those hips moving, as I said, that the upper body goes with it as well, and it doesn't get left behind in this sort of awkward position here. Now, the key to making this happen is keeping this pelvis or your hips, whatever the feels right best for you from this angle. This is the key, is to make sure that you're keeping this pelvis or the hips back this way when you're swinging. So when you get back to here, we don't want to be doing this. That'll make it very difficult to make that little 2-inch move. Very important as you go back here, you're keeping these hips back, you're getting depth. And then when just before you finish that backswing, you're going this way, you're keeping that pelvis back. Because from there, then you can rotate and maintain posture, shallow the club easier. There, you can shallow it easier, keep you in posture, keep that pelvis back, and then swing through. Those hips play a massive role in getting that little 2-inch move. It is incredibly powerful. This is how you compress your irons, you get more power with the driver. The swing will just feel much easier. Another feel for you might be to actually feel like those hips are almost falling towards the target. So if that's my target out there, I'm really just letting them fall towards the target like that before that backswing is finished. And then I can just swing through. I really like this angle here to show you. Watch that trail hip. Just be careful when you make the backswing. You don't want the hips to go back like this. You want them to feel like they're going back pretty straight. And then before that backswing finishes, there. And then through. That's all it is, just a little 2-inch move. There. Really powerful. I mean, I can hit little short shots doing this and you'll find it just feels more comfortable, it feels more powerful, more fluent, and a lot more effortless. I just do a short little one and just get that little 2-inch move. And you'll be a lot more consistent around the golf course. Now, really important, the second part of this video, this ties in with the first part, so make sure you watch this bit. This part of the golf swing is not talked about too often, but I've been working on this on my own game and it's resulted in a lot more consistency and a lot more balance in my golf swing. So this all revolves around this lead elbow, and this is for me a right-hander in the follow through. And by the way, if you have any questions or comments regarding this video, anything you're not sure about, drop a comment down below. I answer all comments, so please feel free to leave a comment. So what I'm talking about, in poor golf swings, you can usually reverse the follow through and look at the arm position, and you can normally see something that's happened incorrectly. So let me show you. If you're someone that suffers from a chicken wing, for example, as you make your follow through, your elbows will be really wide apart, and normally it's lead elbows pointing somewhere way up high, like this. This is what a slicer might look like. See that lead elbow pointing way up over here. Let's have a look from this angle. You can see this lead elbow pointing way up. Now, there's always exceptions to the rule, so if you do see any other golfers that do have a really high finishing elbow, obviously exceptions to the rule, but for the most part, good players will keep this lead elbow as they follow through, have it more pointing sort of down towards the ground or forward. It'll be in that position there. We can see a nice little angle there in the lead elbow like that. I'll show you from here. This is what I want you to work on. And this is perfect for practice. I wouldn't want you to be thinking too much about this when you're out playing around, but for practice, this is a really great feel for, it allows the golf club to release properly and be more consistent. The club head won't move around quite so much, and you'll find a lot more consistency around your strikes. So as you come through, hit the ball, feel like that elbow's more like that. I think this is the best angle. See how the elbows feel like they're pretty close together? Elbow pointing more sort of down this way, I guess, or a little bit forward. Just keeps them more connected. And you can practice putting a ball between your arms. I've done that before. That works really well. But by feeling that lead elbow, pointing more in this down position at the follow through, it is a great feel to have, and I promise you your consistency will skyrocket if you practice this. From here, pointing down. So I think this shows it the best. Try it out with your driver, with your irons. I'll hit a short one now, but I have found my swing feels more balanced, more in control, and the club face does not move around as much through that impact. So it's really just reversing, rather than doing a finish like this, with that elbow up high. This is not what I want you to do. Or like this, elbow pointing way out there up high. Feel like those elbows are kept a little bit closer together and finish like that. A lot more balanced in control. Let's hit a short one here, feeling nice and balanced in control. Just lost my little mic thing there, but that was a very balanced, in control golf swing, all because I kept that elbow pointing more down towards the ground. So I encourage you to try that out. When you combine that with a little 2-inch move at the start of that backswing, downswing transition, your golf is going to improve and you'll start making the most effortless golf swing you can imagine. Now, an important video I want you to watch coming up next, because this talks about how to stop standing up through impact, which ties in with that part I spoke about keeping the pelvis back. So make sure you watch that video. Thanks for watching. I'll see you soon.